I had this one friend who literally used my toothbrush when she came over. And I'm not talking about she used my toothbrush to brush her teeth. I'm talking about she literally used my toothbrush to play, in the shower. Basically, she came over. She wasn't even my friend for real, so I don't even know why she was at my house. But she was like my friend's friend, and like she just had this long story on how da 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 da. And me being a nice person, I'm like, you know what? It's okay. You can come over to my house for the night until like you have somewhere to go tomorrow. I was just being nice. Cool. I invite this girl over, mind you. Parents was out of town, so the whole house was to myself. But I'm like, cool. I invite this girl over. We have our little sleepover. Da, 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 da. She like, oh, can she take a shower? I'm not going to tell nobody you can't take a shower. Like, sure. I give her a towel, rag, body wash, like just everything. I asked her if she had pajamas. Gave her everything, right? Cool. I was planning on taking a shower anyway, but I let her go first because I treat my guests very well. So, like, she gets in the shower, okay? Cool. I don't think nothing of it. Everything's fine. She gets out. Cool. I end up taking a shower maybe like 20 minutes after her. And then when I get out the shower, that's when I usually do like my skincare, all that good stuff. So cool. I'm trying to brush my teeth because I brush my teeth before I wash my face. So I'm looking for my toothbrush. And I'm like, am I tripping? Like, there's no way I didn't lose it. And then I'm thinking like, there's no way she stole it because who is stealing a toothbrush, right? So I'm looking. I see my toothbrush is in the trash. So I'm like, it wasn't in the trash this morning. The house is all to myself, so who could have possibly thrown it away? But why would she have thrown away my toothbrush? So I was just asking her, I'm like, did you like accidentally throw away my toothbrush or something? And she was like, oh, well, I seen you had multiple toothbrushes and stuff like that, so I just used that one because I was I can't even say it on here because I don't want it to get taken out, but she was basically saying she used my toothbrush in the shower to please herself, and she didn't think nothing of it because I had multiple toothbrushes. And I was just like, I don't even think I slept good that night. Like, I never invited her over again. Anytime she would be like, oh, do you want to come over? Do you want to hang out? I always said no. Like, I always just really question it. I still question it to this day because why did you do... You could have...
I was talking to a friend and she was like, you always break things off with people in the early stages of dating for reasons that are like not legitimate. And I was like, I fully fucking disagree. So I made a list of 5 things, like 5 reasons that I've broken up with different guys in like the very early stages of dating. I'm talking like first, second, third date that like I think are very valid, and she kind of agrees on some of them. The first one is that I was sitting like at this table with a guy, like, you know, at one of those restaurants where your table is like essentially like in the street. People who don't live in New York are like, why are you eating in the street? But people who live in New York get it. Anyways, we're at one of these tables. The waitress comes over. She takes our drink order. We're having a good conversation. Midway, he like spits on the ground. Unsolicited. Like, the ground did not ask for it. He just spits and then tries to resume the conversation like normal. I was shocked. If you need to spit on a date, like, you have to go to the bathroom. Like, what are you doing? Why do men do that? I like will never understand. Anyways, gave me immediate ick. Second, he wore skinny jeans, and that wasn't the problem. It was that his calves were skinnier than mine, and that really sent me. I feel like that's like, come on. Anyways, know your style. There was this guy, I'm going on a date with him, and it was like, we were walking to the restaurant, we're sitting at the restaurant, we're walking after, so it wasn't like just in one place. His shoelaces were untied for a full 3 hours. And I told him 3 times, like, we're walking there, and I was like, hey, your shoelaces are untied. And he was like, oh, like, sometimes they're just like that. I just, like, not go with the flow enough? Like, I was like, tie your fucking shoelaces. And, like, while we're walking, I'm like, okay, fine. Like, maybe there's nowhere to stop to tie your shoelaces. Fine. But we're sitting down at dinner, and I was like, hey, your shoelaces are still untied. And he was just like, okay. Like, I'm just, like, he was just like, we're, like, talking. You can't talk and tie your shoelaces at the same time? Red flag. Like, and then I told him after, like, for a full 3 hours, imagine your shoelaces are untied for 3 hours. There's just, like, no way. Like, there's just no... I was, like, so shocked that he just refused. And it's New York. So they're, like, dragging in the dirtiness of New York. Like, anyways. And then the fourth is that he said he didn't believe in socks. To set this up correctly, this man told me that he was a marathon runner. Like, he had run 3 separate marathons. and he doesn't believe in socks. Like, he doesn't wear socks. I don't remember exactly how we got to this conversation. I think I was wearing boots and the socks under, like, I had to unzip the side of my boot because I was like, oh, my socks are annoying me. Like, I wore the wrong ones. I didn't do my laundry, I, like, folded them over and they're, like, you know, getting on my nerves. And he was like, oh, like, that's crazy. You should just, like, not wear them. And I was like, I should just, like, not wear socks inside my leather boots. And he was like, yeah, I never wear socks. And I was like, don't you run marathons? And he was like, yeah, but like, I think it's better for the molding of the feet to the shoe. So you're like closer to the ground. I did like an hour-long discovery on this and he didn't give me one solid reason why he couldn't wear socks. Like, I feel like these are all valid reasons, but you guys can all have your own thoughts on it.
My husband and I met in November of 2023. We immediately knew that we were going to get married, and a month into knowing each other, we went ring shopping. With that, we also started a wedding plan, and we picked a date very, very early on in our relationship because we knew exactly where we wanted our venue to be, and it was kind of our dream venue, so we went ahead and booked it way in advance, way before we even got engaged. With that, we also started to look around at photographers because I wanted to make sure that we got the absolute best price and the best photographer for our money. Little did we know we were about to have the biggest nightmare. So I found this photographer. We'll call him T for legal reasons. I'm not really sure how much I'm allowed to say, so we'll call him T. He had exactly the kind of pictures that we were looking for. Some people I've seen have called his pictures AI generated or tacky. I really liked them when I first saw them, and that was a couple of years ago, so my style has definitely changed since then. But at the time, it looked like he was the perfect fit. I requested his prices, so he sent me his package prices. So he sends me his prices, and then he tells me that he's running a deal. As long as I booked by February 1st or whatever the date was, which was in a couple of days, if I booked before then I would get, it was like 20% off or 25% off, and I was like, okay. The prices were already pretty good, but compared to the other photographers that I had seen, we just totally understand the pricing for photographers. However, we were not in the financial position to be spending more than $2,000 on a photographer, unfortunately. So his prices were right for the time being. So the package that we ended up going with was his, I think it was 8 hours of coverage, film photography included, second shooter included, just a ton of stuff for what the price was. So any other photographer I had found that with the same offer, over $4,000, $5,000. So we just could not afford that. So it just seemed like a really good deal. Little did we know. So fast forward to October of the same year. So October of 2024, February is when I put down the 50% deposit, and October is when I got engaged. So I reached back out to him and I said, hey, we're engaged now. When can we set up this engagement shoot that's included with the package? He starts telling me, I'm in whatever state right now, I can't, but I'll get back with you soon. Okay, so time goes by, he doesn't get back with me, so I reached back out to him. It was probably November at some point, and I started to get a little worried at this point, but before this, there were zero red flags, not at all. My husband didn't think so, my family didn't think so. I was talking to my wedding coordinator, and she was even saying, yeah, it's just in your head. I was like, I just have a bad feeling, like, I don't know why, like, I feel like I could be getting scammed. I don't know why. There was nothing really to be concerned about other than he just kept saying, oh, I'm busy, or oh, I'm out of state. And then finally he posts on one of his Instagram stories that he's going to be out of office for almost a month. Okay, so I wait that entire month. I get back with him and I'm like, hey, still haven't received any word on the engagement shoot. Any chance that we could get this done very, very soon, because our wedding date was in May of 2025. So I get no response from him for a long time. And then he finally messages me. I've at this point probably texted him 5 times and just kind of said, hey, like, I'm still asking about this engagement shoot. And he just wouldn't respond. So eventually he does respond and he says, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Here's my phone number. I don't know why my Instagram is acting up. Okay. So I start to text him on iMessage, and I'm just kind of like, can we please get this set up like ASAP? It's already February at this point, and February, March, April, May. We get married in 3 months and we still don't have our engagement shoot. And then you have to edit the pictures, and then you have to give us the pictures, and then we have to put them on the save the dates, which we still haven't mailed out. So the stress was high. So we finally get the date set for the engagement shoot, and we say, okay, we'll drive all the way to Cleveland. And that's 3.5 hours away, but we didn't want to pay any kind of like travel fee or hotel fees or whatever. We were just going to make a day out of it by going all the way to Cleveland to get our pictures done. So we set the date. Date is coming very, very close, and I'm trying to message saying, hey, like, any update on where we're supposed to meet you? You know, like anything at all. And the day before comes, and I say, hey, we really need to know, like, it's tomorrow. We need to know where we're supposed to be, where we're supposed to meet you. We're not just going to drive 3.5 hours. I was very nice. I was very, very nice this entire time. All the way up until the wedding. I was very, very nice. But my frustrations got higher and higher and higher as all of this stuff went on. So the engagement shoot day comes, and I still have not heard from him. We ended up not going to Cleveland because I thought, we're not going to drive 3.5 hours there just for the chance that he's going to respond. And he didn't. He didn't respond until a few days after that and said, oh my gosh, so sorry. I'm in the hospital with walking pneumonia or something like that. Like another medical excuse that he used multiple medical excuses, and I think some kind of, I don't know, multiple illnesses and multiple other excuses for why he was out of town, why he was not able to respond. The excuses just kept coming. So at this point, I'm getting a little bit annoyed, but I'm like, okay, can we please set another date? Never responds. I think that might have been the last time I heard from him up until the wedding. So I'm texting all the time, just multiple times a week, saying, please let us know if you are going to be at our wedding, because at this point, we have no idea if you're even going to be there. So never responds. We ended up hiring, just in case. We hired another photographer. Her name is Madison. I asked her if I could use her name, and she said yes. She was phenomenal. I loved her. I will put her Instagram in this video. But she was fantastic, super, super great, super sweet. Just did a really good job. So just wanted to give her a little shout out. And the pictures turned out amazing. I haven't gotten all of them back, but she's getting them done soon, and I will post them once she's done with them. Super excited. So the wedding day comes. I am sitting there. We did have a contract, by the way. I had some people ask me about a contract. Did we have a contract with T? Yes, we did. And he broke it by not showing up. The only thing I was worried about was him showing up, because according to his contract, I didn't read it very close to begin with, but according to his contract, he wrote it so well, like too well, to the point where he could never give us a single picture back. But if he set foot on the venue property, then he was covered. He never had to give us a dime back. So I was on my wedding day, getting my hair and makeup done, sweating. Just not even because I was nervous about the day. I was so sure about marrying my husband, but the stress of having a potential legal battle over your head on your wedding day is not something that you really want to have. But it's something that I obviously had to deal with. So I told all my bridesmaids, all my groomsmen, everybody, just don't let me know if he ends up showing up. I don't even want to know because it would make me so enraged if he did, after not giving me anything that he's promised so far. And then just to probably never get my pictures back. At this point, I had heard a couple other people mention his name, but I didn't get the hint in time. I did forget to mention, I did pay him the rest of the amount, because he offered me all the way back when we got engaged. I said, hey, we're engaged now. He says, great, I'm actually running a deal right now for all my clients. If you pay me the rest of the amount up front right now, you get $200 extra off, or a 20% or something. And I was like, that kind of worries me a little bit. I don't know. I have a weird feeling, but like that was at the point where he still hadn't given me any concern. right after I paid him that amount was when I started to get completely ghosted. Hardly ever hearing back from him at all. So my wedding day goes as perfect as it could have. I wasn't sure if he ever showed up, but I did ask my bridesmaids and groomsmen at the end of the night. I was like, hey, did he come? And they said, nope, he didn't show up. So I was like, okay, well then I'm going to ask for my money back because he didn't hold up his end of the deal in any way, shape, or form. All right, so the wedding day comes and goes. It was a beautiful, wonderful day. Best day ever, of course. And the very next day, I woke up and we didn't have work or anything the next day. And I was just thinking about, the photographer situation, going, we have no money. He literally took every last dime that we had. So I send him a message and I say, give us our money back. Straight up, just give us our money back. After lots and lots of back and forth between him, I'll spare you the time. The weeks go by and he still has not paid me back. He keeps coming up with excuses like, oh, I don't have the money right now. And I kept saying, that was not your money to spend. If you are not going to do the work, that it was not your money to spend. Eventually, after threatening him, like seriously threatening him with a police report, I said, if you don't pay me back my money within the hour, I'm going to the police station. I'm filing a report. So I start counting down. And I know this is really petty, but I went, okay, you have 1 hour. Okay, you have 30 minutes. You have 15 minutes. You have 10 minutes. You have 5 minutes. You have 1 minute. And at like the 1 minute mark, some random person, I don't know if it was his mom or if it was his friend, Venmo'd me a portion of it. Never in a million years did I think I was going to get any bit of that money back. I thought it was just a lost cause and that we were, I didn't know what to do. I honestly didn't. I never have ever thought that I would be in any kind of court battle or a lawsuit of any sort. But eventually, multiple people had sent me videos of other people talking about the same experience with T, and multiple articles that I had not seen before because he kept changing his business name. So anytime you go to search his name, it wouldn't be the same. So it would be under a different username for all of his social medias, and all like LinkedIn account, whatever. It was all just different so that he could keep doing this. I had read on one thing, on like a Better Business Bureau post or something, or Reddit, that he has been doing this sort of thing since high school and had the same group of friends. All of the pictures on his Instagram were actually just pictures of his friends that had been kind of running this scam for a few years. So come to find out, I was not the only one. I was not the only bride. I was actually one of, I think I found 15 at least 15 others that he had also scammed, or at least not given the pictures back, or in some way had scammed them out of some kind of money or photos. The funny thing was, they were saying the exact, like the screenshots they would post of the text messages were almost verbatim what he was saying to me and my husband. We even at one point had called him and texted him through my husband's phone after, I think it was 2 months of not hearing from him at all, and like 8 messages in a row not responded to from me. He responded to my husband, who he didn't have his number saved, within 5 minutes. And my husband was like, hey, I have an inquiry about a wedding or whatever it was. And so he messaged him back immediately. So that just kind of confirmed that something was going on that wasn't okay. So fast forward to about a month or so ago, and I get a DM from a girl. I actually saw another girl's video of the same kind of thing happening. So I reached out to her and I'm like, girl, same. This is happening to me too. Eventually, I get most of my money back after months and months of, like, not threatening, but kind of threatening to press charges if he didn't give us our money back. Again, I never thought I'd have to do that kind of thing. You wanna say hi? But eventually, it did have to come to a legal thing. Not with me. I didn't end up doing anything legally until somebody had asked me to. So eventually a girl reached out to me and she said, hey, we're, collecting info about the case that we're working on. And as far as I know, she said he was arrested, not for the, I think, I don't want to say the number because I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but many thousands of dollars that he is not recovered for brides that paid him. She said he did get arrested, but he actually didn't get arrested for that. He got arrested for stealing a car. So I have no idea what that's about, but he did get arrested.
Story time on a client that told me she was a witch, and I 100% sent her away. For reference, I'm making this video and I've tried to make this video 9 times and it keeps on deleting. I have no idea why. Secondly, I'm pretty sure she is going to make a video. She's a pretty viral content creator as well. I don't follow her personally, but I just want to tell you my story. I'm going to try and break it up and stop the video because when I make the video full throttle, for some reason it deletes. So to start off, she comes to my nail room. It is a nighttime appointment, which nighttime appointments are always a little bit scary for me, but you have to work, right? So she comes in and I immediately sensed uncomfortability. I immediately sensed that this is not good. And I felt uncomfortable to the point where I didn't want to even be in my body. I couldn't explain the feeling that I got. But I got the chills. I felt like uncomfortable. And she comes in here. She introduces herself. She tells me how she found me on TikTok. I still haven't opened my reins to just like be comfortable to talk. I'm just kind of really just like hi and bye kind of thing. She tells me what she wants to do to her nails. Now, for a reference again, yes, she is very dark in the sense of dark hair. She does like dark makeup and stuff like that. That stuff does not scare me whatsoever. That's not what it was. It was that I can sense something. I felt something. I can't explain it. So she sits down. She tells me, what her inspo is. And I was like, oh, well, what do you want to do in your nails? And she was just like, I have a lot of things that I have. I have like a whole board. So I'll send you like my favorites. I said, okay, you could just send them to my phone and we can, go over it. She's like, do you have AirDrop? I said, no, I don't have AirDrop with I think I do, but I don't know how to set it up because I think it's only for my contacts. She's like, okay, she sets it up for me. She AirDrops me the photos. So 6 photos come through. Yes, I am heightened and I'm on like I'm already scared. I don't know how to explain it. But she sends me the photos. I get them on AirDrop and it pops up onto my gallery. And I see these shaped thingies. And I'm like, what did you just send me? And then she was just like, so there's 3 photos of the reference, and then those 3 are sigils that I want to put on my nails. So I was just like, wait, what? And she was just like, those 3 are sigils, and I want to put them on my nails. And then the reference pictures are the red and black pictures. She sent me this Pinteresty thing, I don't know what she sent me. Okay. So I'll try to add it to you. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to do that. But so I said, what is this? I don't get it. What are you? Because I was calling it out. That's what I felt like I was doing. And you guys can call me crazy. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care. But I said, what are you? And she was just like, what do you mean, what am I? I'm like, why are we putting this on your, like, why do you want to put this on your nails? Why, I'm not doing this. And then she was just like, I'm not, like, I'm not, I was like, is this brujeria? What is this? And she was just like, brujeria, what is that? I was like, I don't know, are you doing some dark magic or something like that? Because I'm not into that whatsoever, and I'm not doing that on your nails at all. Like, I'm not. And she was just like, I am a witch, but it's not anything bad. I would let you know if it was bad. It's not bad. I'm not going to put anything bad on my nails. I don't care. I don't care if you're gonna if you're gonna put something bad or if you're not gonna put something bad. At that moment, I stopped and I told her, I'm so sorry. I can't explain to you what's going on with me. I'm not okay, and I need you to leave. I just need you to leave. I feel uncomfortable, and I don't feel comfortable doing your nails. I don't. And she said, I drove 3 hours to get my nails done by you. Okay, well, I'll give you gas because I'm not doing your nails. And I couldn't even explain to, like, I didn't get, not that I couldn't, I just haven't even explained to my man, like, the situation, because I can't explain what was taking place. So even when I went inside, it was just like, you don't know what I just experienced, right? So, she's like, I'm not going to leave. I just came all this way to come get my nails done by you. I think you're really sweet. I love how you are, and I just want you to do my nails. And I don't want to say this and it comes off really bad. It felt like a blanket. It felt like something was I felt like I was trying to be tricked. I felt like it was a test. I can't explain it. I felt like it was a test, and I told her, you need to leave. I can't do your nails. I cannot do your nails. I'm so sorry. I cannot do your nails. You have to leave. And I feel uncomfortable, and it may not even be you. It's just right now I cannot do your nails. And I try to be as nice as possible. Maybe I am summing it up to sound maybe a little bit nicer than how I reacted. I feel as if I was having an outer body experience. I feel as if I'm a child of God, and I feel that I've been brought up a child of God and anointed and been surrounded by love, peace, and Jesus himself. You know, I can't explain it, but I felt as if I let something enter my nail room by the front door, and I needed to leave immediately. And I know she drove all this way, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, she's going to make a video, and you can say what you want, but the presence I felt when she came through and the things that she was saying was extremely uncomfortable. Now I'm going to screenshot it right now. I'm trying to make the video. I'm going to pause it. Let's see what happens. Okay, it saved. Okay, it saved, y'all. So, and I just feel like I'm trying to get the video out there, and it's just like not letting me get the video out there. So she left, and she wrote me a really long message, and I don't know. I feel like please be aware of your surroundings. I don't know any other time that you would be in the beauty industry that you do something that you don't want to do. But like when doing nails, when interacting with people, like please understand that if you're saved, and I can't even tell you guys what the message I'm trying to say right now. But when I was telling her to leave, you have to leave, you have to leave, you have to leave, I felt it getting stronger and stronger, that the urge for her to leave. And I did yell, And I did say, get out. I need you to leave, because she wasn't listening to me and I needed her to leave right then and there. The Holy Spirit was really telling me in that moment, like, you need to leave. And I can't explain it to people that don't understand. Like, if you just don't understand, you're not going to get it. I'm not going to turn off the comments on here. And I'm not going to make it a thing where it's honestly, if you can't, it's about to cut off, y'all. I'll make a part 2.